Hey, welcome to the Brisbane Small Business Show. I do have Tony Curl with me today. I'm missing all my different normal things, so we'll just go almost nude like this. It has been set up in a bit of a hurry. We've had a lot happening today and a lot happening this week, so I apologise about how we're going. But Tony Curl is a coach, also known as Coach Curl. Got a business, Think and Grow Business. How are you going, Tony?
Yeah, pretty good, Kev. Actually, I mentioned to you before I had the opportunity this morning to interview Anthony Griffin, the former NRL Broncos coach, on a Facebook Live we do for Redlands Coast Chamber of Commerce. So that was pretty exciting. And then bundling all that up into the various forms of content then to go out and share. So really cool. Busy, productive sort of a morning. But I guess that's what it is that the world is at the moment. How can you utilize your content? How can you continue to grow your business when you're fundamentally stuck at home?
We will get to that in a minute. But Anthony Griffin, what's he doing now?
Not a great deal. So he was saying that probably 90% of where he's now moved firmly into the corporate leadership space, helping companies with leadership and resilience predominantly. So, and I guess from the cynical side of me, he learnt that resilience dealing with someone like Phil Gould, for example. So he's in that corporate space, but he also has income through commentary and media commitments, and 90% of all that's gone for him at the moment. So he's facing exactly what everyone else is facing, and also fascinating chat.
Excellent. So I have noticed you're doing more online chats lately. You've been the podcast king for years, and everything else. You're not scared of your voice getting out there. You've moved into doing more live stuff. How have you found that?
A little bit challenging. I'm not scared of putting out content, that's for sure. And whether it's good content or people take value from it, that's ultimately a personal perspective. But my preference has always been podcasting. I like the longer form, but doing Facebook Lives gives you an intimate sort of opportunity to connect with people right there and then. So this whole thing at the moment is a moving feast. So you give it a go. You try this time, you try that time. It's like you're doing 3 Facebook Lives a day. It would be interesting from an analysis perspective to sit back after a week or two and work out which of the time slots, which of the topics, where do we get the most engagement. And I think that's what everyone's trying to do at the moment. How can we continue to gauge our engagement, and how can we continue to add value for people? Because there's probably nothing less demoralizing than doing a Facebook Live at 7 o'clock in the morning and you might have no one watch it, So that sort of says, okay, well, maybe 7 o'clock doesn't work on that particular topic. So it's about trying to find that.
I'm far more philosophical than you, Tony, because I actually believe you do a Facebook Live and no one's watching, and that's really awesome, because if you really stuff it up, you can delete it and go and do it again. That's lesson 1. Lesson 2 in that is it's not so much how many people are watching it in that minute, okay?
It's the lifespan.
How many people are going to watch it over the course of the next day or two or even year or two. Because after this show, we're going to save it down onto our YouTube channel. We're then going to load it up into your directory listing. We're going to reuse this for a number of different purposes to help you in your business. So really important stuff about that. So, I never really focus on the live stuff, the live stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and absolutely right. And even with the Facebook Live this morning with the Chamber, for example, while you're getting your numbers coming through while you're doing the live, so you're getting a rough idea of who's watching then, you go back and look at it probably 3 hours later, and those lives and those views have sort of quadrupled. And even now when I looked at it just before, because I was bundling it up and sending the links through to Anthony to have a bit of a look at as well, 10 times what we were actually seeing on that broadcast as we were doing it. So you're absolutely right. Lives are a fantastic way to create that intimate connection for those people that are into that, but it's also going to be there on your feed so that people can go back and watch it at their leisure. So instead of watching maths or something, they can sit there and watch a Facebook Live.
Look, I've been saying it already for over a week now, and I reckon where people are falling into one of the three Bs, they're either busy, they're binging, or they're bored. So somebody else did bring in the fourth B of beer, but maybe, but it's still not. It's only just 12 o'clock now, so I won't talk any more about that. Let's talk about you. So you've actually already reimagined your business and looked at, hey, where's the world going and what could it look like? And you've responded to that as well. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So over the last 12 months, Kev, I've sort of shifted my focus around Coach Curl or Think and Grow Business, and while I still do a lot of face-to-face workshops, and I still work with the people that I work with from, whether it's TAFE Small Business Solutions or some of the council work that I do, that certainly plays a role in it. But, over the last 12 months, I've been slowly shifting the dynamic and putting some real focus in around creating something of value online that people can tap into at a good value price, and then have that like as a membership. So I've got a membership academy, as you know, similar to what you've created with the Brisbane Small Business School, and it just gives people access to the topics they need to help them grow their business, improve their leadership, or enhance their mindset. So that's been a gentle shift, I guess, over the last 12 months. And now that I'm in this situation where face-to-face is, by government decree, impossible, it certainly helped me, because now all of a sudden I can look at what I've got within the academy and start to create those marketing funnels from a live, whether it's through Facebook Live or whether it's through free webinars, to bring more people into that membership academy. So once again, it's a shift in mindset for myself, because fundamentally you connect with people when you meet them physically, and it's a little bit more challenging to do that online. But my product's sitting there, and now I've just got to get it out there. So that's my shift.
Absolutely. Well, as I said, you were doing podcasts a lot more before. Now we're seeing a lot more live stuff. We're seeing you in front of a camera. And I've really enjoyed the transition that you've made very, very quickly. It really has been, you've responded very well to the changing circumstances that we've got. Yeah. It'd be easy to sit there and go, I'm doing a lot of live one-on-ones and all that sort of stuff. And okay, I can do Zoom meetings or, do Office 365 meetings or whatever. And just trying to continue business as usual, but business as usual isn't going to cut it in another 3 to 6 months' time, because the world's going to be different.
Well, one of the being involved down here on the Redlands coast with, whether it's the Chamber or one of my recent things that I've done this year is a podcast called the Redlands Coast Business Show, and I speak with. Every week I've got a interview with a local business owner, and to me it's fantastic, because you talk with them for 40 minutes, people get to understand them a little bit more. But one of the ladies out here, a lady called Cindy Corey, who started up the Sycamore School, that business as usual, she calls it business as unusual. So because that's where we are within the world. So, and it's a change of approach, and it's like, people talk about hibernation at the moment, Kevin, and I think that's a horrible word for what we're facing. What I would prefer business owners to be thinking about is reset, because I don't want to go to sleep and then just wake up, a couple of months down the track and it's all the way it was, because I may not have been happy with the way it was. So this is my opportunity to say, well, I've got this, my Coach Curl Academy. I've got 75 odd programs sitting in there ready to provide value to members. How do I enhance my business, and how do I enhance my revenue streams by really maximizing the work that I've already done in that particular space? So reset and business as unusual. And I think if any business owner out there can take that on board, I think they're going to be in a much better place to recover out of this.
Absolutely. Cindy Corey's saying thanks very much for the shout out, Tony Curl.
Awesome, Cindy. You know, I'd give you a rap. She's, and just on Cindy, she talks about being a good human. And I think that's what we need in this particular time. We need people to provide value and be a good human. I think that some of the stuff that Cindy Corey talks about is just amazing.
So I'll have to find out more about it. Cindy, reach out and send me a message.
Should be a great guest for you, Kev.
But here today, we're here to talk about you and how you have reimagined your business and the lessons you've learned from that. It follows on from a conversation I was having with Andrew Anderson about helping people at this point in time as well, about asking people about what it is that they actually do. And sometimes we do need to go back to what is it that you do. And so how you can reimagine that so that you can serve a different position in the marketplace, or how that you can reimagine how you can reserve the clients and prospects that you already had. So, I see that you're doing this with teaching people to go online.
Yes. Yes.
And to create some programs. So, whether they're in a coaching space or whether they're in any mind or knowledge expert space, they can create a program that can help their clients.
Yeah, and I guess once again, this came about for me to get some focus in on it, because people have been talking about reimagining their business channels and going out there and providing repurpose. And I think there's almost like this general feeling that I need to get online, right? I need to get online. I need to do something online. And that's been around for quite a while. But now the reality with online, and you know this, Kev, you know this better than anyone else in the Brisbane market. It's not just about getting your product online. It's about getting a product that people will want and being able to market to the uniqueness of what that value is that you provide. Because if you can't, you're going to get lost online, because there's millions of programs out there being offered by just about every man and his dog, some of the high-profile experts. And if you can't determine the value behind the program, or what it is that you're offering, or the uniqueness, or, you're just going to get lost. So going online is just going to create another drain of money, because you're not going to get the results that you want. So in the academy, I've actually got a program called, it's about creating your own signature program. And it is all about passing up your experience, your expertise, and your skills, creating a program. But the program itself focuses not necessarily just, like, it does talk about what you're going to create, whether it's going to be an ebook, an online membership program, an online course, or a podcast, or an ebook. It goes through all of that, and we work through those different areas. But the main focus is really about what's unique about it and how are you going to market it. And I think that's the point that we need to really be trying to help people with. It's not just as easy as I'm going to create an ebook and I'm going to sell it. Because if no one can find you, or if no one can conceivably see why should they buy that, whether it's $1.99 or $2.99 as an ebook, people still won't buy it for $1.99 if they don't understand the value equation. So it's more difficult than just saying, I'm going to go online, I'm going to sell an ebook. There's more to it. There's a business model case. It's about, and what I'm doing, as you know, because you've registered for it, is I've got 5 ways to build your online program, which is a bit of a precursor into what's available in the academy. So,
and I do encourage people to register for this. Tony is going to put a link below here.
Yes, I will.
Gets off here. He's actually got it registered in the Brisbane Small Business Directory. He's got the event there already. He's going to share that link. Look, if someone wants to start thinking about, I'd love to move and have some stuff online, what are 3 core things that they need to know?
Well, so 3 core things. Let's just have a look at it. You've got to identify what it is that your system's going to be about. So number 1, you've got to identify what the program is going to be. So, we've all got a skill set, we've all got experience, we've all got expertise, we've all got something that we've been able to do and done it successfully, whether it's losing 5 kilos in a month, or whether it's how I organize an office to be most productive, or I spoke to a blog coach the other day and how she created a system to generate 100,000 subscribers over the course of 12 months. So everyone's got one of those systems. Now, the thing is, we've got to have value in that for starters. We've got to actually value it. One of the other programs that this lady had created was a program around saving money in the household, which I thought, wow, how cool is that? Everyone wants to save money. Everyone wants to be a little bit more frugal. She created a program 11 years ago, and now she's got a subscriber base that's absolutely huge right around the world, and that just feeds the remainder of a business. So we've all got that skills, expertise, experience, something that we've been successful on. How to run 5Ks from not being able to run at all would be a program if you could parcel it up into something that someone else can follow. You then got to define what's unique about it. So what is happening out there in relation to who else is trying to solve that particular problem? And then number 3 is identifying that particular target market. So you may have noticed I haven't talked about what the program is, what platforms to use, or anything like that, because your key is to actually identify your system, define what is unique about it, and then have a look at who is the target market, and how. And if you can start from that, everything else will start to follow as you work through. So
absolutely. So and that's really at the start of everything that you do. You need to get that awareness around the specificity about what you're trying to achieve, right? So that's very much what you're doing here is, what is the system, why is it unique, and who's it for? Because once you know that, then where you should be promoting this and and exactly how it should look will all flow out of these things. So absolutely, I get that.
Just a quick case in point. So when people are thinking about what is it that I can parcel up and offer up as a program, Nathan from the Brisbane Junior Chamber of Commerce had a wine tasting event virtually, a virtual wine tasting event. Was it Friday night? I think last Friday night.
Friday night.
Now, no one else, from what I can see anyway, is doing virtual wine tasting. So all of a sudden, Nathan and his committee have come together, have come up with something that's absolutely unique, absolutely of value. They've had a lot of fun doing it, but something like that can be parceled up into this is how we did it, and all of a sudden you've got a program that you can then be offering to other people to build their businesses. So the other thing that I just want to share is at the moment, Kev, we're seeing a lot of people doing stuff around Zoom. We hold quiz nights now every Friday night with friends right around Australia, and it's a lot of fun. But I think coming out of this, we need to be thinking about is there a business model sitting here with some of this stuff? Would you pay? So, for example, I'm a Paul Kelly fanatic. I love Paul Kelly, the Australian poet. If Paul suddenly said to me, Tony, I'm going to be playing from the lounge room at my place via Zoom, it's going to cost you $40 and I'd love you to join me. Guess what? I'm paying that $40 and I'm going to sit there with probably 100,000 other people around Australia, chilling out at home, having a nice cold beer and listening to the gentle streams of a Paul Kelly song. I'll
tell you what, on Friday I'll sing Paul Kelly songs for you.
Yeah, we can test it. We'll test it with Kev. But I think some of these things, we're going to see some new business models pop up. And, just with what we're doing now, because people, even when the doors are open and we're allowed outside again, I don't think we're bolting outside. I think we're going to be taking one step at a time. So I think there's still going to be some caution there. So, and some of the stuff we're having fun with. So I think there's some new business models really going to come to the party. Anyway.
Absolutely. No, I 100% agree that we're going to, I think people will be doing business very differently in the future.
Very much so.
I, for one, am really excited about it. I think it's been a great opportunity for a lot of small business owners to find out how they can cut a lot of extra expense out of their business, how they can get rid of offices and still be just as productive, how they can. And these are the different things that I think are happening in this, transition phase I believe we're in. It's giving us a lot of opportunities. So I want to thank you very much. So what was the course called? What was the webinar called?
It's called Build Your Business by Creating an Online Program. I mean, one of the parts in the 12-part thing is craft an enticing headline. I failed miserably. So build your business by creating an online program. It's coming up April 21. I will post the link, Kev, in the comments of this particular video. Absolutely free. It's a 7 o'clocker. So grab your brekkie, have a cup of coffee, and join me as we walk through those 5 key points to start looking at your online program. And it'll be good.
You'll get to it without being interrupted by me, which is really, really important and fantastic. So
I talk far too much.
Tony, thanks very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. It's been a great opportunity for people to find out a little bit more about how they can do this. So thank you, and we'll catch up with everyone a bit later on.
Before you go, Kev, big shout out to you. I think doing 3 Facebook Lives for the community is an absolute investment and a huge commitment. So well done. Keep up the great work.
It is. Thanks very much, Tony. I really appreciate it.